Good afternoon, good early evening, and welcome to Diversity and
And equity.
in Education. My name is the Diva D, Denise Thomas, and to my right is
April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar. How y'all doing this evening? And we're being hosted by the lovely Bianca Gooseby with Teacher for the Culture. We always thank her because she makes this process so much easier for us. And thank you,
yes,
thank you.
yes. We absolutely are so grateful. So first, let's start off. Just Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Happy Mother's Day to those who are, our mothers right now, whose mothers also have either passed away. My grandmother, who's our rock in our family. You,
My
April,
phone just go off. Is it
and
dead?
I don't know, you were crooked, a little crooked. And then, people who have lost children like myself, you're still considered mothers. And so we just want to, give you all a recognition and shout out and thank you all so much for being a positive influence on everyone's life. Is Cobb frozen? Is that what happened? She have to come back in? Okay, so we just want to start off that way. I'm gonna continue while she pops back in. So good afternoon. We've had a rather interesting, challenging, hard week. And we have a lot of different things to talk about, but we're gonna I'm trying to wait a minute to see if people comes in. But just to know that one thing I've learned, my big takeaway from this particular week is that we it's clear that we do not see a lot of things eye to eye, meaning we as a collective people are not seeing things eye to eye. And there are truly two, well, I guess if you're a different race, like a non, let's just say a non-white race, you also might believe that there are multiple Americas. Okay, so if I was Asian, I would believe that I have my own cultural experience in America. If I was Hispanic, I'd have my own cultural experience in America. But of course, being Black, we truly have a unique cultural experience in the United States. And this is the time, especially when, how can I say this? Especially when you're beginning to see the break in how people think, and that's rough. That's rough. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you, get into that and start that discussion. So, but I want to get the discussion with April, being that she's missing. So I'm gonna hold on just for a second before I really get into it. And in the meantime, here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, listen, we in Florida, right? What's opened up so far since we've been here? We've had, nail salons. We've had some, I think, barbershops have been opened up. We have the beaches, and also we have multiple and increased cases of COVID. I don't understand. I just don't understand how they really thought it was going to be acceptable to do it. I understand everything about the economy, but at the same time, really, why did people really believe that this was going to be something that wasn't going to be affecting anything? But oh well. So as of right now, CNN says there are 40,000, I believe, of these cases in Florida, and we still don't have enough testing. So I'm not 100% sure what that equates to or why people still out there. Is that April Cobb? What happened?
Listen, it's something wrong with when I use my phones now. When we connect to this platform, I don't know what it is. Neither one of them will not stay logged on to it.
That's crazy.
So I had to go to the computer. I know. I got to figure out. When I did updates the last time with Sprint. That's what happened.
That's what happened. That's something strange happened to my phone. No, it's all right. My phone gets stuck. If I do a Facebook watch video, all of a sudden it gets stuck right there. You have to shut the phone off and start it back over again. So updates are not our friends. They really are not. But basically what I was focusing on first of all, just talking about the fact that the state has been opened back up, and yet you have a high increase in additional cases of COVID-19. So, why did they think that was a logical thing? What's your thoughts on that?
I just feel that money is more valuable than people. That's it.
Yes.
There's no other. There's nothing else I can even begin to connect with why they would do that. So I'm just trying to going to maintain, in the house as much as I can, or, visit with those, that we know ain't been nowhere, which is like two of y'all. And that's it, because It's just money is more valuable than people. Let me close these blinds. They got me looking like a white girl. Like I have no color right now.
You're a little light, yes. But oh, that, yes.
Okay, that's
now
a
you
little
look like
better.
you have some color.
Good Lord.
Okay. So yeah, so no, all I really was focusing on was the COVID cases and where we are right now as a society, and how sometimes when we have conversations with people, we really begin to see what people's thought process is and how it's different based on your experiences, based on your race, based on who you are, the experiences of what's happening right now in America. You know, you're gonna learn real quick who is on team and who is just like, well, I'm just, I don't know what's such a big deal. But remember things that happen that are just common everyday experiences to other races, particularly white race. We don't get the privilege of doing things simply like that. For example, perfect example would be something like just sitting around in the car and just waiting. Like, so you have to wait for a meal to be made or something at a restaurant, but you decide you're going to go and run an errand and just sit down and wait, because it's going to take 30, 40 minutes. But when somebody will walk up to you and ask you to move, or why you sitting there, what you doing, versus anybody else could be just sitting there and just relaxing. These are experiences that other races really don't particularly understand about the Black race. We get, I heard a post, I saw a post actually, one of my classmates posted it that said, Black people are the only people that get blamed for being murdered. Think about that. Let me say it one more time. Black people are the only people that get blamed for being murdered. Like it's your fault that you was there sitting down, or it's your fault that you went to the post office. It's your fault that you sat in your car. It's your fault that you had a gun that was licensed or legal. It's your fault that you actually played your music too loud. So basically, we get blamed for just existing. And after a while, people, thoughts and prayers are wonderful for a period of time. But when somebody going to do something, that's the whole point.
Well, faith without works is dead.
It's dead.
It's time for the actions now.
Because you can't, right. You can't leave it the way it is and expect everything to be just the same. I mean, when is people gonna get tired? That's the question. And I think the boldness of the situation is that if you got people who so bold as to say, I'm gonna record stuff, I'm gonna take the law into my own hands, that means from the top down, leadership was horrific from the beginning. Let me tell you what my biggest fear is. Here's my fear. And at first I didn't used to watch the news when this current president was on, because I just felt like, oh, here we go again. But now I pay attention to the news so much. I mean, I think I've overload from CNN. I get on there and I pay attention to every word he say, because just in case one day he slip up and say, today's a great day to go out there and kill Black people.
Because he is reckless like that. He's real reckless, and come back, he didn't mean it that way. Yeah,
right.
Reckless.
And the people who so ignorant, who already do stupid stuff because he's empowered them, might actually go out there and start doing it. And but what's the real scary part about that is, if it really were to come to that, are you really prepared? Black people, are we really prepared for a true civil war? Just stop and ponder that for a second.
In your communities.
In your community, imagine they came
to protect your family in your house.
Right. Are you truly, truly prepared to defend your family? Meanwhile, we out here watching videos of girls fighting each other. Why don't y'all take that same fight and prep up, because they might be coming to your community? I mean, one thing for sure, we sure see so many videos of girls fighting each other. I'm quite sure they'll be able to take some people down if they came through the neighborhood. I mean, all they know how to do is.
I just know that for me, it's just so frustrating to continuously see this happening to Black males, and we reach what Bianca always referred to it is a convenient point of being enraged by it, and then when we stop seeing it at the forefront. It's like, oh, it's gone. No, it's not gone. It's not gone. It's just that they done it. And keep in mind, when our young children, like my Tupac, see that, do you know that's designed to instill fear in them?
Correct.
Do you think that's what it's doing? Most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you say to that for people that say that I have black friends? Right. So the hell what? You got black friends. What? I have white friends. I have Hispanic friends. I got all types of friends. The question would be is, would I be willing to defend them in the event that I feel someone is doing them wrong? Yes, I would.
Right.
Now, that question then becomes, would the other races feel that they could do the same for a black friend, knowing that there's a strong possibility they may be murdered? Right. That's the question there.
That's the question. That's the question. Because I'm telling you, if we out in a situation and the white friend can easily talk the police down, but we all in a situation where any of us could get shot, will they? Because to me, what even Jesus said, that the mark of a true friend is will you lay down your life for your brother.
Come on.
That's in the Bible.
Because biblically, I don't hear too many pastors talking about this. I'm sorry. Right. Why aren't we? Why
which
not?
Go to all the Christians who claim you pro-life, you all, but yet you ain't pro-life black people, black life. That life don't matter.
Help us.
So, and when I get upset when people tell me I'm upset. But you
have a right to be upset. Right. You have a brother. You have a father. You got your auntie. I mean,
right.
Of those children that's being murdered, of those types of men that's being murdered. Like I was so upset the last couple of days, I just had to be quiet. I had to just, I had to just be quiet.
Look, you know what's scary and what's sad is I had a conversation with a woman, and it happened to be a black woman, who said that's the reason why they don't want a black man, because what's the point of getting with somebody who might be killed? That's a wasted investment. That's some scary stuff. So you're not going to have a relationship with somebody of your same race because of the fact that you're just concerned that they might not make it home.
Jesus.
But you can put a higher percentage of life expectancy on somebody that's not black.
And that is that would be a good, if they collect that data, not if. The thing
they collect the data.
To show the life expectancy of a black male when just traveling their day to day. Versus Bob traveling his day to day, Caucasian male.
And how many instances where you have to actually be on high alert because you don't know if your life gonna get taken at that moment.
I just know that it's very important for non-black people or just people of color in general. Sometimes Hispanics, in my experience, feel as though those same stereotypes don't apply to them. But they do. That for people that are non-black would just take a moment, just really take a moment and genuinely put themselves in the shoes of a black male or a mother to a black male.
Right.
Just truly do it and remove your whole sense of what you thought things, how they should be versus the reality of what the world is showing us that it is. Because what is showing us that it is, that in most cases, the individuals that gun down, shoot, choke, or whatever it may be, does it to a black male, man or child, the majority of them walked away with no charges, criminal charges being brought against them.
And you know what really scary? Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
And then to look at the individuals that did mass murders of churches that were white Caucasian males, they were walked away in handcuffs peacefully.
Yes.
They weren't ruffled to the ground. They didn't walk away with black eyes, bruises. It's like the animalistic trait comes out in individuals that are needing to, bring an African-American person into custody. It's like they are terrified of them existing. Like, do they think they're going to come out with these superpowers that we don't know about that exist? They will start shooting beams from their eyes, and webs from their head. Like what's the anomaly outside of them being Black?
Right.
That's getting them killed, murdered.
Right.
Because there's no other words for it but murder. And
the thing is too, is like you're afraid of a race of people that already don't have economic power. I mean, only thing we do with our money is spend it on Jordans and crap. So it's like, how are you afraid of people that's one, already population wise is smaller than you? Two, don't really have a whole lot of economic power. We don't own every bank in the nation. We don't mass produce anything. I mean, how are you so in hatred of a people like that? But could it possibly be, and I'm going to take it all the way back to slavery, the fact that you done bred a bunch of people to be physically stronger, bred them to work harder, bred them to be breeders. Okay, so now you got, which is where your basketball players, your football players, that's where that comes from.
And the only and in some, I seen a post where someone had made note of that. It's only when they are in the position at the time of being the basketball player, the football player, that they are seen, they're glamorized. But when they come out into the regular world, they are still a Black man, and they are treated as such.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when they're not behind the camera of fame,
you're
the same. And I hope they start to pay attention to that more. Like right now, I get today's Mother's Day. I get the whole the different battles that they're doing on Instagram and so on and so forth. The world should stop and address this, especially the people that have a high level of influence. Why are they so quiet?
Right.
So look at them being quiet.
Yeah, but you know what? The reason why most of them quiet, because a lot of their money don't come from us.
Well, you got a point there, I can't even argue with you.
See, that's the reason why the owl need to come across the screen. The owl need to come across the screen right now, because most of them,
just there.
Yeah, because the reason why. Thank you for the owl. I appreciate it, because most of them get their money from other people. They don't get their money from us. Look, notice how I ain't heard Tyler Perry yet, but y'all bought all his movies. Every last one.
And he right now where in Georgia? Is he in Georgia?
And he right there. Where the owl at? I'm saying.
He in Georgia?
He in Georgia.
Is all of that in Georgia?
All of it.
Oh, okay.
His mansion, everything. But he said one peep yet. You got Jay-Z and Beyonce. You got some people who together collectively have $1 billion. Oprah Winfrey, $1 billion. That's not our money. Our money didn't get them there, because I know last time I didn't pay $600 for a ticket. So I know that the reason why a lot of them are quiet and complacent is because they got a lot to lose. They got a lot to lose. But to me, if you got millions and millions of dollars, but April, your sound out. If you got millions and millions okay, cool. If you got millions and millions of dollars, you should be okay at this point in time. You should be able to rest on your money and now take up the cause for the people. You got enough money to that you okay. Especially those who diversify. So your money is in multiple income streams. So why is it that you can't stand up and fight for the people? That's what's the scary part. That's why, but you see why the ones who do get killed. Like, look at what's his name? Nipsey Hussle, Tupac. Okay, that's the last prophet we had, and that was in the 90s. That was our generational prophet right there. But he dead. And notice how nobody else got raising up behind him. And that's what's so scary.
In California. Mm-hmm. And now it's, look, again, we have selective outrage, like Bianca always says, and then it just goes away.
Right.
It just goes away. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So again, until some true change come about, those conversations need to stay at the forefront. I know for me, we cannot tackle it all. Our outrage has constantly been on education. We have not backed up from the light.
Right.
We have not, we will not. And the ultimate goal is to take it a step further. as it relates to connecting with the key people, here in Hillsborough County as it relates to the pipeline to prison. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Okay. Bianca, we getting in trouble for referring to it as prison to pipeline sometimes.
Pipeline to prison.
It's pipeline to prison. And it might just be me, Bianca, but I think So again, I know Representative Diane Hart has been a strong advocate as it relates to the conditions and what is going on into the adult prisons. But the ultimate goal is let's reach the children before they go to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, I always say I can speak from experience. It's not a pretty deal. It's not. And it's a challenge having a child behind bars for just irresponsible decisions that they made that then impact them greatly, which in return impacts family. But if I take a step back and look at it, how many times when Riley was being suspended, it led to this overall cycle. And it took for me to start thinking about that a lot and was like, damn, he was a part of this whole process. No matter what, it was in the design.
So so for us to go back to the fundamental part of it, to me, I mean, I step back and I look at reading, I look at math, I look at it, but you know what the big component that's missing too, because nobody want to talk about it, is history. These kids don't know who they are. And a lot of times, when you see these videos, these girls fighting and carrying out and cussing each other out, stuff like that, I'm like, if you only knew who you were as a person, historically where you came from, what kind of woman remember being a female slave? You're gonna kind of abuse and torture a female slave had to have gone through, and they survived all that to get you here to 2020.
My God.
And you still want to fight your sister? You out there in the street fighting and pulling, weaving, and dragging each other down and stabbing each other, all that. That right there is the critical component also that's missing. Because if they knew who they were,
may I add, in the presence of children. In the presence of their children. The children were right there.
Correct.
We got some comments. Let's say hello. Gretchen, hey, sweetheart, how are you? Happy Mother's Day to you as well. Hey, Dr. Edwards. Alicia, happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Hey.
And let's go over to the watch party comments. I know most people probably still engage with mommies today.
That's right.
Tamika had a lot to say. Tamika said, I am my brother's keeper. Black men have to have their head on a swivel daily. True. America are in denial. They are the animals and savages. Okay, resilience. I disagree. We are the highest consumers. The reason the country opened up was for our She's not saying that we're not the highest consumers, Tamika. She's saying that as it relates to the individuals that are your billionaires, probably not so much. They view us as their true customers. Let's say that.
Right.
I think that's what Lisa's saying, but you can answer that for yourself. She says that the reason the country opened up was for our people would spend the stimulus checks to jumpstart the economy. They need our money. If we spend with our brothers, we agree with that completely. She said if we spend with our brothers and sisters, we could revive things like the Black Wall Street. And y'all do realize where Black Wall Street came from. Where Wall Street came from.
From the Black Wall Street.
Let's not talk about Black Wall Street. Wall Street initially had us.
Right.
As product.
Right. But the problem is this. The problem is that once they saw how well we could work together, see, the objective of the white supremacists and everyone who is against the people of color is the fact that they don't want to see us gather together. Let me break this down to. Do you know that the NRA was for gun control? In the 1950s and 60s, the NRA was all about gun control. Was all about gun control, right? But let me tell you what happened. Once the Black Panther Party, let me make sure I word it right. They were, that's right. They were all for gun control. But once the Black Panther Party decided to walk around with their guns to defend themselves and talk about their Second Amendment rights and all the stuff like that, all of a sudden now, wait a minute, we gotta have we can't have this. We can't let them do this. We gotta have some laws and regulations and stipulations, and we gotta make sure it's right. It's amazing what works for one group of people don't work for another group of people.
And it's been that way.
That's what's amazing.
I just need that to be said. It's been that way.
Yeah.
Slavery is supposed to have been resolved, what, over 100 years ago now? No,
Yeah.
not 100. Well,
It's more, but still.
yes. But at this point, little has changed.
Little. Very little. I mean, a minute amount. And you barely got enough rights to say you within like look, here it is. And I pose this question for people who are non people of color. You know, do you just jump in your car and ride out? Or do you double check to make sure that everything is appropriate before you hit the road?
You better.
Okay.
The lights, the mirrors,
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Yeah.
Make sure nothing in the car that could be perceived as a weapon.
Right.
That's how we think that. And this is the part I think they cannot connect with. When you have to have a conversation with a child, a Black boy, and he's looking at you to figure out, why are you saying to me, you have to do things differently than your white peers? Because if you don't, it could cost you your life. I don't think they understand that. I don't think they understand that. There's no way you can understand that and not truly begin to have those tough conversations, because it's going to take the women to have the conversations.
Oh, of course.
That's the only way it's going to begin, and then a true movement. We got to stop living in the moment of these incidents and develop movements that's going to shift the way that we have our children be perceived in society. Because these momentarily outrages don't help us in the end. It just becomes a product that we buy, t-shirts, flags, and you name it. And then the moment is gone.
Right.
And then we did not develop a movement amongst all of it. And I just don't get it. And then all of your local NAACPs, listen.
I'm tired. I'm just tired.
I'm sorry, but I'm not. Unfortunately, our NAACP, I have yet to see them do anything as it relates to things that are going on globally that impact African-American people, that we too should be proclaiming some type of stance in all of it. I don't see any white papers come from it. I don't either see in the type of one letter. Nothing comes out to the members to say, hey, this is what's happening. In response, we're going to be sending letters to various organizations to say this, to say that, send something, do something. We just, memberships are just being collected, and fundraisers are happening. But where is the money going as it relates to educating and empowering the people, what the foundation of the organizations was designed to do?
Correct. Because people don't even know basic law. People don't know basic law. They don't know the basic rights. They don't know. But that's why which give me a segue into this. There's a group out of Georgia, I believe it is. I think they're in Texas as well, called what is the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, and they are dedicated to teaching people their rights, survival skills, all that. And it's like, but that's like I was saying, the component that's missing. They stay in that state where, listen, we're going to educate the people. We're going to go out there and defend ourselves. We're going to make sure that if a catastrophe happens on a mass scale, we're prepared. But the thing about it is, you don't see people getting, like you're right. Where are they? Where are the people? But you know what? Let me tell you what it is. The same, or they call it quote unquote leaders, they got comfortable too. That's the reason why all this.
Well, they got caught up in the monetary value of selling their people out.
Yes, that's.
Let me get up. Legs.
They did what? I need legs too.
So that people out. Run cross. Run.
All the way across the screen. I need some legs.
That's just that's the only way it can be perceived as. Well, put it this way, that's my perception. I can have it. Because in the end, if we don't publicly see what's happening that the organizations are doing, we can only make assumptions,
right? Because
we do know for a fact what they're not doing.
Because listen,
and I just want to throw a shout out there to the goddaughter for the Mother's Day gift of the new mug. Isn't that cute?
That's because
cute. I love fresh flowers. I love fresh flowers, and there's only certain ones that don't bother my allergies. So today she brought me a combination of them both. my flowers
Aw.
and mugs. Isn't that sweet?
That's cute. That's super cute. I
Yes,
like that.
yes,
Oh,
yes. So
you got legs?
we got Gretchen saying children need to know their history. Yes. And
Yes.
not only do, well, you said children, so I'm assuming you're saying all children, children of color, every child in that ethnicity.
Everybody.
The District of Hillsborough County needs to put curriculum in classes of black history. Okay, here you go, Gretchen. Here we go, Gretchen.
Right.
So we know that the DOE spoke of this a while back. I don't know if it came back to the surface a couple of years ago or what may have you, but we know that it's already supposed to be in place. We know that. Now, my question is, we've had several African-American board members in place, and we know what the job description is. I'm so over hearing what the job description is, because some of the things that you're doing that's not a part of the job description, some of us, damn it, you're doing that. So moving forward, we're not ignorant. We have degrees. We're educated. Many of us, we know what the job descriptions are. We get that. However, you were voted by constituents that would like to see certain things in place. And in your position, you have a responsibility to ask about it, question it, do some research, do something to inquire about why it has never come to a place where middle school, hell, all the way to elementary school. It is more than just February when we highlight Martin Luther King for all the speeches he done.
Right.
We talk about all the revolutionary things that he was doing as well that were not pretty. If I see one more child said I have a dream speech and not know the in-depth of what that speech also entailed, that was coming from his house being crosses burnt in front of it, from fireballs being thrown in the house, I'm going to damn scream. Stop itemizing what you want to pick apart for the African-American legacies that have been put in place, because it is definitely an insult to us. It's an insult to me.
Exactly.
It's a straight up insult.
And to me, it should be a full course. I mean, you're going to have, if you got a school that's predominantly Black, why wouldn't you have an African-American studies in the curriculum? That's an elective class. That's extra class. Okay, that should be a course the kids should take. So they can know all their history, or as much as possible. Because I mean, I've had Caribbean history all through school, but when I went to the United States, of course, I'm getting African studies or African American.
You know what I want to say, Didi? One thing about you, you are so well versed when it comes to history, and I always admired that about you. Like, you are so well versed in it, and when you be talking about it, I be sitting there like looking like I know what's going on. I don't know what the heck you talking about. But what I do is go look it up, read a little bit on it, and come back, because I'm a product of Hillsborough County schools, and I did not learn that in African American history, and also what was the other one? American history and
civics. Was it civics you had?
We had civics, and there was one more.
U.S. history.
I can't think about it, but long story short is, Black folk wasn't in them books.
Right.
And I remember getting a teacher basically intimidated the crap out of me when I asked the question, like, I think the only thing they did mention was what is his name? Garvey. What is that his name? Marcus Garvey. It was very brief though. Yeah. And I was like, what else did he do? Like, there should have been more to what that little small bit that was in there. And when I tell you, that man looked at me, that white man looked at me like, if you ask another question that's not a part of the questions that I would like for you to ask, and you've never had a referral, you've never been disrespectful, you've never done any of those things, he gave me a look like, girl, don't you even. And you best believe I didn't say another word in that man class the rest of the year.
But see, you know what that leads to? So what? Imagine how good or how interested kids would be is if they read material about them. Now you're gonna pull in, let's tie the curriculums together. You're gonna pull in math, because you can talk about Black mathematicians, Black scientists. Now you're gonna pull in those. You can put in
Only thing you want to talk about is football figures and baseball, and
right.
that's the only.
But if you had a Black history curriculum for kids, and you're talking, start them off in middle school all the way to high school, they must take it. If you're in a predominantly Black school, you should be taking a class like that, because it would alleviate so much. Then they would stop fighting each other. Then it would at least bring it down. You would start to realize, wait a minute, we're better than this. Wait a minute, we came from people that's better than this. Why are we fighting? Why are we carrying on? You give kids a little bit of knowledge. It's amazing how like we had our speaker. In fact, he was on just a little while ago. Reverend Matthews. He came for we had a boys event, and he came and he spoke, and he had actually been to Africa, and you could have heard a pin drop. He had the largest crowd because he had all those kids in the cafeteria. He had the largest crowd, but you could have heard a pin drop when he was talking.
They want to know. They do want to know.
Right. And he was talking about his experiences in Africa, and everyone was like, what? But because guess what? Their soul needed that. They needed to know about who they were.
That was good.
You need to tell me. You telling me about me? I want to know about me and where I came from and who my people are. But once you see, that's how you destroy a people, which is why outside people look at us like, well, they have no value. They don't care about themselves. But it's easy for us to take them out. It's easy for us to mow them down. But we got to start doing better. We got to do three things. We got to vote, first of all, because we can't stay in the house and expect everything to blow over, because it can get worse from here if we don't be more proactive. We got to be more involved in education, and we truly got to learn to stand up for ourselves and be out there. And because the protest ain't going to do it. It's got to be literally, listen, I'm not going to take how you going to treat me anymore. I'm not going to do it. And let me tell you something, when in a time of war, it's going to take some soldiers to go down. But guess what? People know you're serious. Hate to say it like that, but people going to know.
Because right now we are in a time of war. And unfortunately, the Black men are going down. Look, and they're not even armed.
That's why I said, going back to the beginning of this conversation, that's why I said, how many of us are truly prepared if they get a word from the White House that tell them it's okay to go out and start mowing us down? How many of us really prepared? See, you know what I'm concerned. Go ahead.
Gretchen said, she too, as it relates to the job description, Dr. Edwards says there is an elementary school curriculum that was written. That was an elementary, a middle, and I don't know about high what was written, because I think I had been at Jennings probably like a couple of years, and they were sending out the principals were sending out requests for a group of 3 people to go and attend training during the summer for, I think it was called Africana Studies, because that's when the DOE had said something. I don't remember all the details, but just the skeleton of what was imprinted on the mind to know that it happened. And they was requesting for people to attend this training. Unfortunately, the majority of the teachers had already identified what trainings they were going to go to in the summer, and nobody was able to go. So I don't know what happened with that, but I do know that there is one of my Facebook friends. She works in, I want to say, Pinellas County. Lily Aponte. She is a teacher, and she attended that training. White lady, she attended the training. And I never heard any more about it from that point. But I do know that the training did come. The Hillsborough County did offer it through PD at some point, but it never did come back and evolve in the school setting. Somebody just went to a training, and that happens a lot in our district. We go to trainings, but nothing stems from it.
Because we famous for being. Yeah, you're right. We famous for being the most professionally developed staff in the entire world, because we attend a million trainings, but whether or not something will come out of them trainings is a whole different situation. Because, and then also here's the thing that also is a concern for me. If we do start teaching, Black history, can we get a Black teacher?
That could relate. I agree.
Because you're right. When it comes to, like, for example, our civics or U.S. history, whatever like that, you have teachers that's only going to teach just that segmented portion. Just like you said, it's going to be Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, and Rosa Parks. That's all every year. That's all you get. Maybe George Washington Carver. And maybe, what's the name for the here? Bethune-Cookman for sure, because that's Florida. And then they'll throw in there, give me the hair. what's the name? Here, the perm. Oh my God! Why Madam CJ Walker just drew a blank. So, but that's usually among your top 10. That's what you're gonna get. So kids don't see anything outside of that, and that right there is part of the problem too. Part of the problem, because if you knew who you were and you also knew what laws affect you, you would start to be able to stand up and say, wait a minute, you can't do that to me. You can't talk to me like this. But ultimately, the big issue is the leadership we have now. I'm telling you, if it weren't coming from the top, because remember, there's always pockets of racism everywhere. But the issue is when your leadership say that hey, racism is not a big deal, or these are some great guys, and everything is wonderful, and they didn't mean it. All that. So
has he addressed it at all?
No, and hasn't addressed at all. At all. Not one, hasn't said
and
one
then to
thing.
see all the leaders that were in position with GBI, which is the Georgia Bureau Investigation. And then you had your prosecute all of them that were in a position to make the decision in February to have that man arrested. Just allowed them to carry on their day-to-day like it was okay.
Yeah, ain't nothing. And the part that killed me is when the third guy, because now he's trying to defend himself. Now the third guy is on there saying he was only taking a picture. He just because he wanted to make sure that the kid matched the description. No, you were active participant too.
Because you didn't call the police afterwards.
Nothing. You didn't do a thing.
And then they said it was a delay in the amount of time. I don't know what.
Yeah, it was an hour delay. So what they showed, what they reported was an hour after the timestamp on the house. So here, let's talk about that. So Ahmad went into the house. Let me tell you something. I don't know how many of you have not gone when you see a new construction going up, have not strolled on just to see, if anything, just to read to see what kind of house going up on your block. Like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I like. Okay, walk in and walk right back out. That is not, if any crime, that would probably maybe trespassing. But honestly, it's not even
if they have a trespassing sign posted.
Because most people just naturally curious. Hey, their house across the street, I don't know.
And that's what they want you to do in most cases. If the house is going to be for sale.
You want to look in because you want to see, okay, how many bedrooms this is? How many? Oh, okay, but okay, they're kind of small. Let me see what the backyard look like. Okay, but and guess what? So you're saying now, because I'm a naturally curious human being like me, you know me, I touch everything. So you're saying because I'm naturally curious, I get shot because I'm naturally curious? Because really all that is a case of curiosity. Hey, I just want people to see what I look like. Okay. Really? And I'm telling you, it's not to say, and I want to make this statement. I may be angry, and I'm not making any racist statement. I'm saying I want people who are not our race to pay attention to how it is to be us in America. That's all I'm saying.
So Dr. Edwards said that the curriculum is in first class, and she said her password is expired, or she will pull it up. Okay, well, we'll look at first class. I'm gonna look in the middle school. I don't even know where to begin looking at. I guess it's not in civics where it's being taught 8th grade. And then they have I don't even know what to begin to look for, but we'll figure if it's in first class. I will go look for it. We'll look for it.
And we want the whole year. We don't just want like a semester or something like that. This is supposed to be something that the kids go be a part of for entire year.
Kids to do it.
Right. Because
civics or this.
Because like I said earlier, when I did my rant, I said, when a child is 12 and 13 and asking me if I was born during slavery, that means you have no concept. To this day, I think that thing's funny, okay? But it's sad and funny because how is it that you don't know when slavery is? Like the same thing about Egypt. How you don't know that Egypt is in Africa?
Oh, we don't have access to all the elementary components. Dr. Edwards, when they redid something with first class, and you had teachers that was mothers of children, and they would go in and pull stuff that they had no business pulling for their children in the elementary level. Yeah, they shut that down. Look, you had teachers doing stuff. They ain't getting in trouble. They just got a verbal warning.
Right. So you making a whole. You want to educate your child. I mean, let me do this.
So we have to I can have Miss Sabrina look it up though, or ask Ashley if she could find out about it for us, if they don't mind and they don't put them in any exposed risk of being anyway.
True. You're right. You're right. So listen, I don't know about you, but I've been trapped in a group text all day, and I how do you get out?
You
how
can't.
do you get out?
18 recipients, and I don't even know who it is. I don't even know who it is.
I don't know who. I'm trapped in a group text with like 17 people. I don't even know half the people in the text.
I didn't respond. Everybody saying thank you, Unc. Some Unc. I'm like, my uncle's here in the house, and the other one wouldn't have a phone. So
okay,
I
wait a minute. That means you on the same text?
I don't even know who that is. I ain't saying that.
I ain't saying a thing because then it would start a chain of responses, and then I have that child. Look, just. I'm gonna just ask kindly, please. I love y'all, but please don't trap me in the group text. I can't take it no more. I can't. Okay, because you can't get out of it. It's not like with the messenger where you can remove yourself from the group. You can't do that.
18.
So I'm just begging, please.
18. And I think at this point, about 20 I'm gonna say, look, it's 18 and about 20 that responded because they must have sent it to somebody else. I just stayed quiet. I said, Carl, just stay quiet.
And that's the one thing that's gonna save you completely, right? So listen, I want y'all to encourage your friends and relatives to please stop posting fight videos on Instagram, on YouTube, and because I'm gonna help y'all understand something. Do you know those videos are confessional tapes? Let me say it again for people in the back. Those videos are confessional tapes. Because let me tell you something, somebody gonna slide a copy to the police.
They ain't got it. All they gotta do is look on social media and they got it.
In fact, you're right. You're right. In fact, you're right. Nobody don't have to slide them a copy. All they gotta do is go on there and look. I mean, I've seen some stuff this week. I'm just like, you mean tell me you don't call out everybody's name in the video. Now, granted, it could be their street names. It could be their street name. But the fact that you done did and gave a blow by blow fight description. Oh my God. I need y'all to think deeper because eventually they're gonna show up and come get you because you posted the video, call everybody's name, said who did what, where they was, where they gonna be next week. Come on, people.
And then be sitting there acting like they part of the first 48 class. They part of first 48. First 48.
It's like you don't. Please, people, please. And what bothers me is they do that in front of children. And now you can't understand.
What Bianca said is that these videos desensitize the behavior. We are beyond desensitized, honey. I don't know what word could be beyond that. We've been desensitized for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah,
it can show individuals just completely being gunned down in those hidden videos that kids will show. Like we've been beyond desensitized.
Right.
We've been beyond that.
And it's sad because it's like, this is what takes away the children's ability to sympathize and have empathy for other people. And you can't understand why they're so cruel to each other. They're so mean to each other. They could make all these nasty videos and insult each other. And it's like, because they have already been, they're seeing that in their neighborhoods. They see that every day. And and then it's on repeat because they're playing it over and over and over again on a phone. So it's like, that's what I'm saying. I'm so grateful that we were born in a different generation because all the stupid stuff I did, at least you ain't got no video of that. I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? You got nothing to say about that. So, but I don't know. I just, I think going forward into this week, I'm going to be real. I'm trying to cut down on how much news I watch because I get mad. That's first of all. And second, I'm just going to be paying attention to people's responses, paying attention to how people think. Because a lot of times, y'all got friends who everybody's smiling in your face, but by the time they hit the ballot box, the vote go a different direction. So that's all I got to say. And have real conversations with your friends who are non-Black and ask them, what you think of this whole situation? What do you think? Do you stand with me or you're just like, okay, well, it's going to be all right? because you in your neighborhood and I'm in my neighborhood. Who I'm very, very concerned about is all brothers and sisters who live in a neighborhood that's predominantly white. That's who I'm concerned about. Because if stuff really pop off, how safe do you feel? It must be said about the hood now, you know, but we all the same around here. That's all I gotta say about it. I might not get along with everybody, but I sure will. When it go down, we all in this together. All right, anybody got any more comments? Because we pretty much are, you know, I ain't trying to get beat any more mad for the rest of the day because I had enough.
No, that's why I said let me look, just calm it down.
Yeah, because I've had enough, and I ain't trying.
The rage will come through quickly because you just lost for words in all of it. You just lost for words.
Right.
They choose that life.
And I'm just prayerful for everybody who has
that life.
We
don't get what you're saying, Dr. Elvis. I'm not. They choose that life. Choose what life? Who's they?
What life? What you talking about?
What Dr. Elvis says. She says, I'm not. They choose that life. Who? What are you talking about? Oh, I see. I know what she's talking about. I mean, the individuals that live in the predominantly white neighborhoods. You know how they feel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. Well, look, that's all we got. Because let me tell you something. I'm not trying to get my blood pressure up anymore. I'm not watching any more CNN for the evening. I'm going to probably put on some cartoons and watch whatever. Maybe, I don't know, do Ozark again. I don't know. Just something. So my whole mind gets
Tyrone just told me about Bosch. It's on Amazon. It's a show called Bosch by the detective. It's not a it's a European. Yeah, just go see it. Go watch it. It's go check it out. Bosch. It got
I'll
6
check it
seasons.
All right.
We look for the ones that got plenty of seasons.
Okay, so we just gonna wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Be blessed. Pray over your children. Stay alert and vigilant this week, and just do the right thing. That's all we gotta say. All right. Anything else, April?
Nope, that's all we have. In the same type of being vigilant about what's happening as it relates to Ahmaud, we should also be that vigilant about our children's quality of education. Because keep in mind, where they are falling short now, it will seep into their adulthood. And then what? Just something to think about. So this is April Cobb with April's Beauty Bar.
The Diva D from Carved Out Divas.
And we're Diversity and Equity in Education. And we want to thank the
fabulous host with the most was Bianca Goolsby from Teaching for the Culture.
Y'all be safe out there. Don't get caught up in the hype about this. We just opened back up when the death toll is still going higher.
You can get your own nails done. Look at that. Do your own nails.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to do mine shortly. That's all we got, guys. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.